All right. Okay. So, when it comes to recruiting, the big thing is just to be real. And so sometimes I think one of the biggest roadblocks for people when they're first getting started when it comes to recruiting is they're like, sure, Ellen, it's easy for you to be real. You've been in the business long enough. You have stories. You have a story, right? You have a history, you have a track record, you have success, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. When I started 18 years ago, I should have looked that up. I started sometime like at the end of October, right? So 18 years ago, I was like very new in the business, November, whatever this is, 13th, 18 years ago, right? But that didn't stop me, right? Because I had a vision of where I wanted to go. And I had all the stories of all the successful people at Champion, and I used them. I used them. I used them until I had my own story, right? And I had the vision of where I wanted to go. And so that's what I talked about. I talked about, hey, I joined this company. I'm super excited because, who doesn't love Tupperware, right? I joined because I need to make some money. And so if you're looking to make some money too, this is a great time to join, just like me. So let's do it together, right? And that was my story, and that was my recruiting pitch. And some people are like, "Yeah, sure, let's go." And other people are like, "No, no, I'm good." Right? That's okay, right? That's okay. Where are they now? I don't know. Right? But, I mean, and that's all right. And so don't get hung up on the fact that you don't have like a history, you don't have any of that stuff if you don't have that. Or don't get hung up on the fact maybe you've been in Tupperware a while, but you don't feel like you have you feel like you have to have some picture or number proof of success in order to talk about that. You don't have to have that. You just use a formula. Why did you start? Why do you stay? And what are you excited about? That's literally all you have to say. Did I say anything about being number whatever in the country? No. Did I say anything about the number, like however dollar amount in sales? No. Did I say anything about how much money I make? No. I didn't say any of those things. I didn't even say, like, you don't even have to say how long you've been in the business. A lot of times it comes up. People are like, how long you been doing it? And that's okay. And if you're like a week, they're like, whoa. And you're like, but that's cool because we're gonna learn together. So let's go. We can go to these meetings together. There's these really great people that have been in a really long time, and just be honest with people. And when you're your authentic self, and when you're excited about something, people want to come with you. That's the reason why I joined Tupperware was because of Pam Clift. I didn't care about Tupperware. Okay. Like I love Tupperware. Like I thought Tupperware was a good product. I didn't know why, honestly. I knew my grandmother used Tupperware, so it had to be good. She was farmer's wife, right? And I knew that, but I did not know why people use Tupperware over anything else you bought in any old store. I had no clue. I didn't know that there was a lifetime guarantee. I literally knew nothing. I had no idea. I just knew that Tupperware is a name brand, and so some people like name brands, and so those are the people I was going to find to sell the Tupperware to. That's all I knew. And so, but I knew that I loved Pam Cliff's vibe, and I knew that she was like the picture of positivity, and that's what I needed in my life, and that's where I went. It didn't matter. Honestly, she could have been selling freaking snow to Eskimos, and I would have been like, yeah, let's go. Let's go to Alaska, baby. All right. So it didn't matter. It didn't matter the product, right? It just mattered the person, right? And the people and the vibe and all of this. And all of you are here for a reason, right? You're here on Rally. Why? Because you're trying to plug into source, right? You're trying to catch that vibe. You're trying to catch that wave. And so that's exactly what you're offering people. You're offering them that community. You're offering that positivity. You're offering them that something that's outside of their norm. All right. So don't get hung up on numbers and whether or not you are making X amount that you set out to make and whether or not you've achieved what you set out to achieve. Don't worry about all that nonsense. Don't worry about that. Why did you start? Why did you stay? And what are you excited about, right? What are you excited about? And then make some noise, get visible, right? Get visible doing it. You know, Jenny just talked about being visible with a bow on her head. If you want to do that, you do you, okay? It gets people to stop the scroll. I'll be honest with you. This lady on TikTok and she puts a freaking strainer on her head. It gets people to stop the scroll. Am I going to do it? No, you will not see me with a strainer on my head on TikTok. It's not happening. I don't care what I don't care. I'm not doing it. That's not my jam. No, and that's hers. That's totally cool. I mean, Robin, I don't see her picture right now, but she has a bowl on her head in her little profile picture. That is amazing. Okay. Go you, Robin. I'm not putting a bowl in my head. Okay. Now, I did manage to find these because I realized that I was not dressed for the occasion. All right, so I got my antlers, but that is for all of you, okay? This is special for all of you, okay? Feel very special. Oh, look at Callie's homemade hat. I love you and your homemade hats, Callie. All right, so but seriously, guys, that's all you need to do, but get visible doing it, right? But do it as you, right? Do it as you, whether that's a sticker on your face, a bow on your head, a strainer on your head, or if it's just you there with a ball cap on at a ball field on the sidelines cheering your kid on, and you have a moment to go live or make a video or do something like that. That is real. And if that's you, be you. If it's live in your car while you're sitting in a carpool lane, that's great. If it's you, I just posted a live and I'm just sitting downstairs in my living room. That's all I'm doing. I'm sitting there in my living room and I was like, I looked behind me and I was like, oh, there's a pile of coats right there. So I just picked up the pile of coats, guys, and I threw it around the corner. If my husband would have, and then I was getting ready to, when I got done with the video, I had to go pick up James, and I was like, I better pick up those coats because he's going to come around the corner while I'm gone and be like, what the, why are there a pile of coats in the kitchen floor? Right, guys? But it doesn't have to be just do it, right? Just do it. And you need to be visible and be posting several times a day, right? And so, am I saying you got to talk about recruiting several times a day? No, it's a soft sell. When I met Pam, did she talk to me about recruiting? No, she actually didn't. She sold me on her. It was her vibe. I wanted to be around her. It was like being close to the sun. Like it really was. Like it was like just getting a B12 shot was like being around Pam Cliff. That's what I wanted. She didn't talk to me about the business. She didn't even talk to me really about products, nothing about that. But that was the sell, right? That was the sell, just being around her. So that's what you're doing. Whether you're in your kitchen and you're talking about like making cookies with your grandmother, that's the sell. Whether you're sitting there and you're drinking your big tea and you're just talking about being how much better you feel now that you're more hydrated because because you're just drinking more stuff, and hey, check out this cool mug. That's the sell, right? Whether you're talking about hey, I'm so excited because check out these cool things I got for stocking stuffers. They're actually salt and pepper shakers. And for years I've been buying those goofy candy canes full of candy. You know what I'm doing this year? I'm filling these with candy and I'm putting them in their stockings and then they'll have these. How cool is that? Right? That's the sell, right? And so all of that does it, yes, it's product selling, but it is also recruiting selling because you're showing them how easy that is. It's called user generated content. We're the users, guys. We're the users. And so we just have to make sure that we're showing people all the things that we do every day using our product. We use it all the time, don't we? We're the influencers. We're the people doing it, guys. And that's all you got to do is just share with them the way that you use the products and just share it from the heart. And it just had, and like Pam says, you don't have to, or Jenny said, you don't have to show your face. If you're not having a good day, don't show your face, okay? You're not always going to see my face, right? Because sometimes I got a mean mug on and nobody wants to see that. That doesn't mean, that doesn't mean I can't put something out there. You just might see my hands that day, or might have a hat on, hiding my eyes, right? So nobody sees, all right? But seriously, just do it. And you just got to pull that trigger. And so, and pick your social media and you can repurpose that too. And so later you can even repurpose it. If you concentrate on not making it seasonal and on not talking about prices and not talking about things like that, you can repurpose that for a long time. All right. So Think about that. Yes, you can put seasonal stuff out there, but also try to sprinkle in stuff that is not seasonal so that you can repurpose that later. But you can talk about lifestyle. You can talk about, hey, I'm so excited because I just paid our gas bill and it was higher than normal because we had a cold snap and I paid it because my Tupperware. Isn't that cool? You know, and we didn't have to pull that out of our budget, that extra money. Or I had to put new tires on my car and it was unexpected because I ran over something and blew two of the tires. So, wow. And I was able to do that with my Tupperware money. It's kind of cool. So we didn't have to pull that out of the budget. That's stuff you can share. So recruiting isn't always about the numbers. It's not always about things like that. Sometimes it's even better when it's not about the numbers, guys. So just talk about how it's impacted you. So why did you start? Why do you stay? And what are you excited about? What are you excited about? All right. And that's as simple as it is.